Sigma males prefer to exist outside the social hierarchy and are considered to be loners. Naturally, this means they have a higher correlation with introverted MBTI types. Today, we will be taking a close look at the INTJ Sigma male archetype specifically, and how they act in their work environment and in relationships. If you are a truth seeker keen to learn more about yourself or understand the elusive man on the periphery of your life deeper, this one is for you. Let's start by defining an INTJ in as few words as possible. INTJ stands for introversion versus extroversion, N for intuition versus sensing, T for thinking versus feeling, and J for judging versus perceiving. The letters show your personality focus in 4 dimensions. INTJs are extremely analytical and intellectual problem solvers. As a result of this mix, INTJs appreciate employing innovation to enhance systems, structures, and procedures and excel at logical thinking. Let's now discuss how INTJ Sigma males behave at work. Despite their outward appearance of being silent and solemn, Sigmas are in fact always observing and spinning their cogs. They spend a lot of time contemplating and attempting to understand the workings of everything they observe, since they are inquisitive beings who never stop learning. They accomplish this by carefully going over the information they receive, just like a computer's processing system does. When you ask them a question, you'll notice that they frequently give their answers some serious thinking before responding with something thoughtful, perceptive, and sophisticated. Most people wouldn't describe this man as particularly gregarious or friendly. Instead, he tends to come off as direct and formal throughout most interactions. This is not personal, he just likes to stick to the facts. This no-holds-barred attitude can occasionally lead to issues in formal settings, the classroom, or the office, because the INTJ Sigma will not hesitate to call out illogical arguments, regardless of their adversary's position in the hierarchy. Because to these traits, INTJ Sigma men are typically employed in professions that need little to no interpersonal connection. This is because handling other people's erratic emotions and whims feels considerably less comfortable than dealing with logical methods. He thrives in these exciting work surroundings and navigates life like a chess player, imagining various outcomes and solving the puzzle of the journey. Despite their preference for independence and working alone, they are highly regarded and respected team members because of their assured demeanor, efficiency, and organization. The ideal method to manage INTJ Sigmas is to take a hands-off attitude that enables them to thrive, since they are not afraid to take the initiative. He is the one to get the task done perfectly due of his innate desire for information, his high standards, and his need to constantly seek to improve himself. Because to their propensity for working alone and dislike of leadership and following, INTJ Sigmas are not content in supervisory roles. Instead, if absolutely necessary, they would rather pull the strings from behind the scenes. The man who is secure and confident enough to give up the appearance of control, outside approval, and pointless awards is ultimately the one who is a true leader. He will complete the necessary tasks and then go back into the shadows. The best career fits are in fields like engineering, detective work, law, architecture, or programming that require a combination of creativity, ingenuity, and cause and effect problem solving. Let's move on to the second component of the INTJ Sigma, how they relate to relationships, as these are depressing. It's a frequent notion that INTJ Sigma men reject any sentiment and are indifferent to the feelings of others. They tend to avoid emotionally intense situations and, in general, hate showy displays of emotion. Yet the truth is more complicated than that. What they genuinely detest are overly sentimental people. Due to the fact that these behaviors are frequently ineffective, the INTJ Sigma finds this difficult to endure. INTJ Sigma guys who are highly developed and mature are genuinely quite in touch with their inner world and emotions. They just like to display them in different ways. They prefer to internalize their opinions and develop a useful action plan to best meet their requirements rather than expressing them out loud with emotion at the forefront, which is seen as a pointless waste of time and energy. Those who only provide issues and no answers, or worse, who are not open to solutions because they would rather wallow in self-pity, severely irritate this archetype. When dealing with INTJ Sigma guys, you are much better off logically outlining the problem and either providing solutions or starting a discussion about how to proceed. Relationships, especially romantic ones, don't exactly come effortlessly to these men because we know how autonomous, confident, and comfortable they are. When he does decide to pursue romance, he will use his high standards to seek someone who shares his values and won't settle for anything less because he is perfectly fine living alone and requires little else than his own company. Instead of rushing into a commitment, he will take his time to consider all the factors and make sure there is a good chance that everything will work out. This is due to INTJ Sigma's intense loyalty and extreme seriousness about their jobs. They seek a union of the intellect, body, and spirit where the three complement and challenge one another in a way that fosters progress in both the partnership and in each individual. While they fervently strive to understand their partner's needs and enhance their own life, they also want the person they are with to improve. Likewise, if a relationship is unproductive or sluggish, they won't be reluctant to withdraw and put an end to things. Although this may seem incredibly harsh, in the long run it actually saves both parties a lot of lost time and bruised feelings.